Welcome to the Undead Nation. Today we will have Nicole teaching us how to make zombies.
Alright, well, first we're going to bring in our victim, Zach. Let's bring him in and have him sit down. Okay, so the first thing we want to do before we put any makeup on him is build up our wounds. And the first thing I'm going to use is something called fake skin. You can get this at the local Halloween store, which is where I got it. Looks like that, pretty gooey. Okay, so I have made a little line of this fake skin, which I'm going to be creating a cut. Now, as to placement, say if I were to place it near his eye, and I'm going to ask him to move his face. Go ahead. See right where that is, it's not a good spot to put it because there's a lot of movement in this area. There's also a lot of movement here and here, so we'll probably put it somewhere around his forehead. We'll do it right there, and we're going to press it gently on there. All right, now what I'm going to use is a brush that's more thicker up here. Its bristles are pretty thick. And I'm going to use that to blend this out to the skin. So you're just going to press down into his skin, kind of like painting. You're just painting the wound on. Okay, so once we have the placement down and our edges are looking nice, what we're going to do is take one of these little tools. It's a clay tool I'm going to use just to make right in here where the cut is going to indent. And just be careful what you're using so you don't cut the person. You don't want to go too deep with it. So while you're doing this, you may notice that the edges are coming up just a little, but I won't worry too much about that because you can put them right back down. We're just going to make a nice cut right in here. All right. Now what you're going to do, again, just go over the edges. Make sure they're down and they're blended into the skin. You don't have to do it perfectly. Alright, so now what I've got is a little bit of liquid latex and a sponge, and what we're going to do is set this with latex just to give it that extra hold. We're just going to go around the edges. Be careful not to put it in their hair because it does not come out of hair very easily. And you'll be very unhappy when you have to take it off. So be careful around the eyebrows. And get in there, get all the edges down, and get inside. And we want to get a pretty even coat for the first coat. And then we're going to let that dry. Okay, go back in with the latex, and we're going to do a second coat of the latex to make sure it's even and you get the edges. The edges are the most important things to get down, so when you're out and about, it's not going to come off or melt off. Because the scar skin, it's very delicate, so that's why we're going over it with the latex. Once you have a nice coat there, you can go ahead and let that dry, and we will be done with the liquid latex. Okay, so to continue our base with the wounds, I'm going to go a thin coat of latex right around the cheek and jaw area with just a thin coat. This is going to create the effect of rotting skin. We're just going to go over that thin coat all around. And you really don't have to wait till it dries because what you'll notice is that it'll start coming up and peeling off his face. So I'm going to go with latex. I'm going to go over with latex, and while it's drying, I'm going to pull it up. See? And it's going to create these pockets. And you can pull at it just like that and make these little holes that will fill in with makeup. And you can do that anywhere you want, really. You can do some up here, maybe some here. Just go over that. And when it's drying, you're just gonna pull it up. Just be careful, don't go in the hair. Like so. And make a little one here. And just so it's not uneven, let's put a little here. Thin coat right here. And as it's drying, just pull it back to create that torn skin look. Just be careful when you get too close to the eyes, because you don't want to get any latex in anybody's eye. That'd be bad. Okay, and once we're happy with that, then we can move on to the next step, which is applying a foundation. So once this is all dry on the face, we're gonna set it with some powder. You can use baby powder or little powder you can get at the Halloween store. And we're just gonna brush on a thin coat like this. And then we're gonna go over all the places that we put the latex. Nose. And this is also going to help the makeup last longer. Alright, so we're going to apply our base coat, which I'm going to be using Ben Nye the Death Wheel palette. I'm going to start with a pale foundation color. I'm not going to apply it everywhere. I'm just going to apply it to some spots because as a zombie, they don't have, perfect skin. So we're going to make it look very blotchy around here. Just be careful around the eyes. And try and get in the little crevices up here. And you don't have to, the places where we tore the skin, you don't have to worry about going in there. Just go around it. Because you don't want to peel it back more. And make sure you get the ears too, and the neck. And then we're going to go down. Then we're going to go right over the lips, around his nose, chin, and back of the neck. You don't have to worry about going to the eyes because we're going to darken those eventually anyway. Now once you're happy with the base coat, we are going to go over it with another coat. I'm going to use something a little more yellow to make him even more pale. Now with this yellow, you have to be really careful because a little bit goes a long way. You don't need a whole lot. So you're just going to dab it every here and there. You don't need to go crazy with the yellow. We just want to make it look really blotchy. Okay, so once we're done with that, I'm going to grab a sponge, tear it apart. So you have two. And what you're going to do is you're going to, let's take brown. We'll take a little bit of the brown and dab it into the end of our sponge so we get more of a grainy application. And we're going to go over the wound right around the edges so we can blend those edges in even better. You don't want to go too crazy with the brown, just a little. We're just going to blend that in. This also is going to give an effect that he's dirty. And we're just going to continue with the brown on the hollows right here and on the other side, and the cheekbones as well, just to darken those up a bit. And then some here. Just kind of be sporadic with it. Doesn't need to be perfect. On the other side. Again, just be very careful about the spots we put the latex on so you don't peel them up more. Go here, the hollow again, down the cheekbone. We're also going to get here. All right. Next step is I'm going to use, this is the Death Whale, one of the Death Whale colors. It's a very dark, like reddish brown. I'm going to add that right on the outside, right here. You can use a brush or you can use a sponge. I'm going to use a sponge right now. And just get in there, make it, blend it in. It's creating a bruise-like right here. And then just a little patches everywhere else. Purple is a good color for zombies. Purple and browns are very good. And we want to make it as splotchy as possible. Don't get it too perfect. And if you add too much, just go to the other side of your sponge and dab some off, like so.